Dave was just an amazing assistant principal and hands down the most genuine educator that I've been able and been blessed to work with. When he communicated and worked with people, whoever he was working with, they felt special because that's who Dave was. He treated people with the utmost respect, and he displayed integrity every day.
So in our basketball program, we talk about our 5 pillars. One of them is hard work, sacrifice, service, passion, and trust. And being able to play those 3 years under Coach Forbes, he really showed us what those meant, and he instilled that in us every day.
He definitely was the most enthusiastic basketball Staunton River fan that I've ever seen. He loved Staunton River basketball. And when we would cover a game together, even if it wasn't his coverage night, he would usually show up anyways to support the teams. And we would always sit there on the baseline. And if you weren't watching Dave closely, he was coaching his heart out, and he would always sit in this rolling chair, and he would be inching closer and closer to the court, coaching away, yelling at the refs, all the fun stuff. And those are just priceless memories of how much he loved Staunton River and Golden Eagle Nation.
I can still remember telling him, I don't think I can be a good head coach, and I probably shouldn't be doing this. And he was just like, you can do anything you put your mind to. Like, he was always had so much faith in me and just made me feel like I could conquer the world. And just with his support throughout over the years, he made me, not only that good coach, he helped me, learning how to, making sure we had good practice plans, making sure that we named our drills. He taught me a lot about offense because I just love defense. And he would crack up at practice because he was telling me, it takes more to basketball than just defense, because I'd want to do defense forever, and then he would just take over and do offense.
Dave knew so much about the game. He was kind of I call him an offensive genius because he was. We would go to clinics, and I would take pages and pages of notes, and he would just listen, and then he would tell me stuff I had missed in my notes. But he had an ability to teach because he was a great teacher too, and there were certain things that he added to us that I just never knew, and that I'm still using today. Just certain ideas and philosophies that we're still using that I learned from him.
We just started joking around about how much we spent so much time together, at practice, watching game film, even outside of school, we were just together a lot. So he started saying that he was my work husband. And I remember we were shopping for our banquet. We were out at Sam's Club, but I had one of my kids with me, and he just thought it was so funny. He was like, look at everybody staring at us because, because he just really played it up. Like, he is my work husband, and here we had my daughter Jada. So it was kind of funny that he just got a kick out of that because he's like, look at everybody looking at us.
I was fortunate enough to play 3 years basketball under Coach Forbes, and in practice games and then offense we ran, he would always yell, swing it, and you could hear him over everyone in the gym. No matter if the girls were in there practicing with us, no matter if the fans were loud, you could hear him. So just seeing him around all the time, we would be caught yelling at Coach Forbes to swing it, try to sound like him and get a laugh out of him. So that's something we kind of did regularly in the basketball locker room and on the court with him.
Second year he was coaching with me, we made the regional tournament, and we were pretty sure we wanted to play Broadway. So we went up to Spotswood to scout them, and Dave had already been up once before on his own. When we got there, and this is something people know about him, he had to go to the bathroom a whole lot on trips. We took a lot of stops. And he went to the bathroom. I waited outside, and the Broadway coaches actually went to the bathroom while I was outside, and I said something to him because we knew each other. Well, he stayed in there a while, and what had happened was they didn't know he was in there. So as he's in the bathroom, they start talking about our team and basically saying, yeah, they're they're not really good and we're not too concerned with them and things like. They said they are athletes without a star. So when Dave came out of the bathroom, he had a big grin on his face, and I said, "You just heard something." He said, "Yeah, we're gonna sit down and I'm gonna tell you." So he told me, and when we got home, we went to the team room and we wrote that quote on the board. And needless to say, that team went home and we played them the next night because our guys were fired up because of what Dave had found out in the bathroom. I call it the greatest trip to the bathroom in boys basketball history.
The way he supported and loved our community will make his legacy at the River live on for generations.
Like we start practice, I was getting ready to go change, and he would always say, you don't need to change. Stay the wonderful person that you are, and I could still, every time I go change, even today, I still think about him saying that. It was, that was always funny. It just made me smile every time.
It's been tough being back in the gym. That's when you really miss him. I've noticed this year how much he influenced me, just because I'm teaching something and I'll say something and I'll pause for a minute, because I'll say, "This is what Forbes would say," what I'm getting ready to say. So I've had a whole lot of those instances this year.
And to believe in myself, which is like one of the biggest things I could say about Coach. I don't know, he's just that family person. It didn't feel like somebody you're just working with or coaching with. It was actually a family. He was actually like a brother or a father, great friend, whatever. He was just really awesome to be around. We really wanted to honor him with both boys and girls basketball programs. He started out with the girls, worked with us for years. Then he, switched over to the guys and worked with them for a while. And then even as he became a principal, he would still come back helping both teams all he could. So Miss Levine, Marie Levine, had over the summer had drew up, a picture, kind of like the shirt I have on, but she kind of drew it by hand and started thinking about some different things that represented Coach Forbes. Like we talked about faith, because he always has a lot of faith in people, your faith over fear. And then once she came up with that design, turned it around to the digital design, and then we thought it was cool, if we could do something that everybody could see, in the gym or outside the gym. We came up with the idea of, having the bench for them, and, the shirts. We thought it was a cool way to, if we sell the shirts, we could use that money to be able to purchase something that would, represent him, and it's, at the gym, a place that he loved.